Welcome, everybody. It is good to see each and every one of y'all tonight. Got a really neat show set up for y'all, and I can't wait to get into it. But let's see who's come pay a visit to us tonight. Good to see you, Rachel. Welcome in. Appreciate you coming. Mighty welcome. Mighty good to see you. And John, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome, welcome. I missed y'all last week. Didn't get to come on here. I was trying to get my dad's vehicle fixed for him and ended up breaking his and trying to fix it and couldn't. Had to send it out. And while fixing his, mine tore up, which mine's still in the shop. His is already fixed. So, hello, May. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But tell you, I've really been enjoying the nice spring weather, boy. That nice warm temperatures, and then all of a sudden, now it's 50s in the daytime and 30s at night again. It's them typical southern winters that they usually have different names, blackberry winter and dogwood winter, all them different names. I don't know when they are or what they mean, but they got some kind of meaning to them anyway. So give a few more minutes here and let a few folks come on in, and then we'll start tonight. Got a really super neat story. Super honored tonight. Tonight's submitted story is going to be a rather long one. I'm sure it took him, golly, probably an hour to type this thing up, because the email, I swear, it's like 15 pages long. It's a long one, but it's actually from a fellow YouTube content creator by the name of Dixie After Dark. We got his link pinned up at the top. If y'all don't have him, go check him out. You will not be in any way unhappy with the content, because it's awesome. And he digs into legend and lore from the South here, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, and sometimes he goes up north, different states, and he dives into the history part of it, looking for any kind of historical evidence to corroborate or disprove some of the stories. And I'm telling you, they're so good. We've covered some of the same stories, and some I found that he'd never heard of, and there's many that he'd found I'd never heard of. So, and just neat content and really good videos. A lot of history, and they're not one-sided stories either. It covers the whole picture. Unbiased information. It's good stuff. So. Tonight it's going to be a kind of a spooky encounter that he and some friend had in Alabama. So pretty neat little story coming up. Can't wait to get in on that. And like I said, we'll let a few more folks come in here, and then we'll get started. It might sound a little stuffy. Hope has been sick for like 2 weeks straight, and boy, her sugar, you could tell it's been up and down like crazy. And Autumn's kind of got a hacking cough and stuffy nose, and I've got just a little bit of it. I think I'm gonna be all right though, hopefully. We just move along with it anywho. Let's have a good time on here hanging out with you guys and telling some stories that hadn't been told Matter of fact, his story's never been told on any other channel before. His email kind of, the beginning part sort of explains why a little bit. But I think without further ado, I'm going to get me off of this old thing here and let's dig up his story and see what we got to read here. So let's see. Let me get it pulled up. There we go. It says, his email says, "Hi there, brother. I was just catching up on one of your more recent lives, and you were telling viewers submitted stories. As you know, my channel focuses on the history of some of these legends, but I have a good bit of personal encounters I'd love to share. I've never shared them before because they don't really fit my format. But since you've started telling viewer submitted stories, I thought I'd share it with you." And he begins. This was back in the late 1990s in Lee County, Alabama. I had a group of friends that loved going ghost hunting, and we were regulars at all the local haunts. But there was this one place we stumbled upon by accident late one night. We were way out in the middle of nowhere, riding down some lonely old dirt roads. We hadn't seen any house or anything for miles. But then it happened. Out of nowhere, there was a massive cemetery off the side of the road. It was late at night, and we came upon it before we knew it. And by the time we noticed it, we drove right past it. But unfortunately, we could not slam on the brakes because another carload of friends was following us. So we started slowing down until we could find a good place to turn around. Of course, the car behind us stopped and wanted to know what was going on. We said we wanted to go back and check out that cemetery, but they responded, "What are you guys talking about? What cemetery?" We were shocked that they didn't see it. It was in a wide open field, maintained and all. It jumped out at us immediately because other than that, the old dirt road was completely surrounded by thick forest. There was no way that the car behind us couldn't notice it. We turned around and the other car followed behind. We made our way back to the cemetery, but lo and behold, we could not find it. There were no turnoffs on the road anywhere. It was just a straight, skinny road, and there was no way we could have missed it. We went back and forth, up and down the road again and again, but we just could not find that cemetery. Finally, we gave up and headed home, mostly because the carload behind us was aggravated thinking we were messing with them. But everyone in my truck saw it, and we knew it was there, or at least where we first saw it. Days later, a few of us had the chance to go back and try to find it, and we did. This time, we went during the day in hopes we wouldn't miss it again. It took some time and a few wrong turns, but we finally got back on the dirt road we recognized from that night. After driving for what felt like hours, we finally found it. There it was, off the side of the road. It was a pretty good sized one, maybe just a little less than half the size of a football field. There was a good sized ditch between the road and the cemetery. There was a single turnoff for a vehicle that led into the forest beside the cemetery. We pulled in, excited that we actually found it, and that made us feel a little less crazy about the night before. The little turnoff we took was really small, a driveway of sorts that could only hold 3 to 4 vehicles max. That put the cemetery off to our right. Us and the cemetery were separated by a thin grove of trees and brush. The thing that immediately took us by surprise was there was another cemetery right in front of us, completely separated from the main one, completely hidden in the forest. Let's see. Now, that one, the one that had caught our attention on the first initial night drive, turned out to be relatively modern. But this surprise one in the forest beside it, it was very old, much older than the other one. We parked, got out, and checked it out for ourselves. The first thing we noticed was the old section of the cemetery was enclosed with an old rusty metal fence, not chain link, more like older wire woven cattle panel design. There was an opening where the gate may once have stood, but otherwise it was completely enclosed. The grave markers we were able to read were all the Civil War graves, but there were some that looked much older and worn down enough that we couldn't make out even the dates. There were others that were simply just piled stones. In the center of the graveyard was a white wooden structure, one that looked like an old warehouse. Our best assumption was that this was a grave as well, as the ground where the well would have been was completely enclosed. We made our way back home after a while and immediately told our other friends that we went back and found the place. It says this was back when only the rich kids had cell phones, so we couldn't call them from the location itself. Those of us that were into the ghost aspect of things made plans to go back that weekend late at night. It ended up being just the 3 of us on the night trip. Me, my brother, and my best friends. Us 3 were the ones who seen it the first night. This time, we found the cemetery with no issues. Of course, our intention was immediately on the old, creepy section rather than the new modern cemetery. We split up, but not very far, as the old part of the cemetery was small, maybe half an acre at tops. We all had flashlights and sat up, just looking around, staying as quiet as possible. We didn't even have any high-tech gear that people use today. We were just kind of there, waiting to see if anything would happen. We poked about for 15 to 30 minutes. And it was then I saw my friend stiffen up, like something might have scared him. I called out to him and asked if everything was all right, and he said yeah, but it felt like a gust of wind came up from the ground right in front of him. At this point, that was all my brother needed to hear. He was ready to load up and head home. We made our way back to my friend's truck that we had rode down there in, but then realized our friend hadn't caught up with us yet. We turned around and he was still in the cemetery. He was coming, but something wasn't right. He was kind of slouched over and walking with a stiff and shuffling like motion rather than normal. Let's see. I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" But never looked up. He never even responded. My brother and I both kept calling out to him, and our friend, he just wouldn't respond. He kept shuffling closer. But at this point, my brother and I were majorly scared. My brother recommended just leaving him. If our friend was joking around with us, that would bring him to his senses. But see, we couldn't do that. On the one hand, that would be wrong, but on the other hand, it was his truck and the keys were in his pocket. Neither of us were willing to go anywhere near him while he was acting like this. The more our friend shuffled toward us, the more steps back we took. I finally warned him to stop playing, or there was about to be a fight. But when I shined my flashlight at him, I knew he was not playing. His skin appeared gray and wrinkled. The only way I know to describe it was almost like an elephant's hide, and his eyes were dull and yellow in color. In my mind, the only way I know how to explain it was he had to be possessed by something. My brother and I were completely shaken now and had no idea what to do. Our friend continued to shuffle toward us, never saying a word. By this time, we were backed up completely against the truck, and our friend had reached the entryway of that cemetery. When he shuffled through the open gateway, he stood straight up. His eyes went back to normal, and the color returned to his skin. He was the one that looked at us like we were crazy and asked us what in the world was wrong with us. After a moment of shock, we explained what happened. His response was genuine to me because he remembered nothing. As a matter of fact, he didn't even know how he had gotten out of the cemetery in the first place. The last thing he remembered was telling us about the gust of wind. After that night, we still got into a few weird things that we would laugh and joke about, on the top of the other stories from our past, but our friend would never again talk about that night. If anyone else brought it up, our friend would do his best to just change the subject. It was many, many years before I went back to that place. But the best of my knowledge, our friend has never gone back even to this day. After getting older, I've done research on the cemetery, and it turns out that the wooden structure I talked about was actually a child's grave. Locals refer to the place as the Witches' Cemetery, but I've never been able to tie down any specific legend to it. In researching, a lot of people are buried there. There were a lot of Confederate soldiers, but that's all I've been able to find so far. Even the people that refer to it as a witch's cemetery don't exactly know why it's called that. Of course, some people claim that a witch was buried where the white well house thing is. But I know that's not the case since it's a child's grave. The place has since suffered vandalism and now has security cameras all around that place after someone set fire to the child's grave. If I ever come up that way with any further information, I'll keep you updated. As for now, though, my research into that place is full of dead ends. And then he leaves a little personal message. It says, I hope this story intrigues you, and feel free to read it, redo it, whatever you feel see fit on your channel. Keep up the good work. God bless. Your friend and big fan, Dixie After Dark. Lord have mercy. I don't know about that place. That is a strange place indeed. Imagine just driving and it appearing out of nowhere, and you turn around to go back and find it, and it's nowhere to be found. And it takes you a few days later when you finally come back, you do find it and explore it and not feel anything, but then you go back late one night with just three of you, and all of a sudden your friend is surrounded by that whoosh of cold air coming from the ground and then acting so crazy. I wouldn't even know how to handle that. Probably be like Jared from Jared King's TV, slanging holy water everywhere and salt and saying some sort of prayer as fast as possible. But absolutely, John. I absolutely appreciate him for allowing us to tell his story. That would be cool if he had footage of that night, but I got a feeling that he probably didn't have any kind of cameras or anything, it being back from the 90s. But I bet that made for one heck of an experience. And of course, it was life-changing to the one that experienced it, because he never wanted to go back again and never has and doesn't even want to talk about it. So, you know, when you've had an experience like that, it's life-changing. And it's one that sticks with you, and sometimes they'll haunt you in your dreams. So, I really, like I say, I appreciate Dixie for trusting us enough to, feel free to tell his story and allow me to share it with y'all, and knowing that it's an area where we share experiences and can feel free to share them, and not judging each other, saying, "Oh, that's a fake story," and you didn't. We it's a place where you can tell your experience and not be judged or have people talk down to you or make you feel any kind of strange way at all. So, but I really, really enjoyed it, and like I said, guys, if y'all have not watched his channel, it's pinned up in the comments. He has so many different videos to watch, and he's got close to 28,000 subscribers and growing still. And man, just awesome person and awesome creator. And he's not far from us. He's actually just over in Georgia a little piece. So like I say, we always appreciate him, and appreciate y'all for sitting and listening to me jabber on, and do my best to read his story and share it and get to enjoy it. Because, boy, I tell you, I sure did. I like to go visit just to see all the different old graves, all the different kinds of little stones that they have. And some of them, you can read the stones, and by the epitaph on them, you can tell what kind of person they are. It's those old cemeteries, they hold a lot of history, a lot of untold stories. So, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. You're so kind. We appreciate everybody. Y'all, when you go to bed and say your bedtime prayers again, y'all just keep our awesome sister Janet in your prayers. We keep her and her family in our prayers, and like to say a amazing shout out to her. She made a generous donation to the channel last week, and it was so kind. She did not have to do that. We're so thankful to her for that. It was so kind of her. Just if you guys have any kind of stories, or have had any kind of strange experiences, or heartfelt, heartwarming angels, I mean, any experience that you'd like to share with us, let's see. Enter this in here. Put that in there, and then highlight it where y'all can see it on the screen. That is our email. If you have prayer requests, stories, or just anything, you can shoot us an email to that, and we'll do our best to help you whatever way we can. And the stories, if you would like those to be anonymous, we'll definitely do that as well. Thank you, Rachel. Glad you enjoyed it. Glad to see you. Thank you. And we had to leave Dixie's name with that so that we could tell y'all who this was from, and send y'all his way, because I'm telling you, he's got some mighty good videos and mighty good history that covers just all sorts of topics. So, well, hi, James. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in, boy. It's a mighty good story. The story was from a submitted story from our awesome channel creator brother, Dixie After Dark, and he submitted it through the email. And like I said, I really appreciate him, and it was very interesting indeed. And we're so grateful to you folks for coming out tonight and just sitting and jawing with us a little bit. And hopefully everybody has had a pretty amazing week so far and have a good rest of the week and the weekend coming. And about to have to jump down off of here and get stuff going for Hope, because she's got to get ready for bed for school tomorrow and all her nighttime routine that she goes through. But we appreciate you for your prayers. And oh yeah, Rachel says she listens to Dixie Boys, a mighty good one. Appreciate all the prayers for Hope and Autumn and us and everything. We're grateful to y'all, and I guess until next week, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week. I've got an entire list. I sat down the other day and wrote a humongous list of stories from different states here that got Appalachia running through it, and I'm probably going to make a video out of some of them, and I've got so many now that I can do a video out of some of them, and some of them I can bring on here, and we can learn about some of these different people and places and strange events and strange things, and just all around neat stuff. So we might start into that some next week. Trying to think of what is the video about for Saturday. Can't hardly remember right now. Let's see. I believe it's during the fall of the year. 2 men reenacting Union soldiers. Okay, yeah. We have a story much like this one. That's what it's about. But it's of a strange encounter two reenacting Civil War soldiers had at the Battle of Gettysburg during the reenactment that they had. Boy, this is a mighty interesting story, and it should be out Saturday, and y'all just look forward to that one, and we should have it out around 3:00 Saturday like we do normally. And next Wednesday, who knows what we'll get into. So, but until next Wednesday, we love yous, we appreciate yous, and we'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.